Isha Bay here. Got another one for you. This is with Jess Hilarious. She is going to say a lot of the same things we've heard before. And I am going to give men and women advice on how to fix it. Okay. So we're going to jump into it. But real quick before we do, I'm doing free one-on-one calls. There's no upsells. My goal with this channel is to help as many men and women as possible. If that's far as relationships or if that's making money, I'm doing free 15 to 30-minute calls. I'm doing 20 of them a week right now. All you have to do is follow. Subscribe to the YouTube first. Follow me on Instagram. Shoot me a message on Instagram, and we'll connect. Let's jump right on into this. All right.
I don't know. I love and appreciate Baltimore for making me like that though, because I have a lot of respect from people. I have a lot of respect. Celebrities that you wouldn't even think like this. Man, like we were just talking about Will Smith. Will Smith actually told me, I love what you do. I love what you do. I watch it just when I'm like, you be hitting motherfuckers hard. I love what you do. Like, you went up Angela Bassett. Listen, not playing. Like, people love me. And that's why I'm like, yo, why? Like, look at Monique. It's so much bad chatter about her and shit like that. Look where the fuck she came from. Look at Jada Pinkett. Oh, that bitch, she mean. She don't know, man. She wear the pants in our relationship. Look at these.
Ooh, we started in a bad spot. So one of the people she looks up to, Jada Pinkett Smith, so this is off to a bad start. Let's keep
women
going.
in power. Look at how they like just say, oh, they throw us away because we tough and we hard and we ain't all that submissive. That's the word. We not submissive first. It's something you got to do to unlock that shit.
Yo, who know? It's crazy how like God created this conversation because this is so much more important than like all of the other shit. You know, the conversation that we had, and we can't ignore that. And I'm gonna get into it. This is a scary, touchy subject, but
touch it.
It's not even about just Baltimore and New York women, right? We hear this conversation worldwide, and it's always geared towards the angry black woman, right? And like you said, you gotta we're not submissive, but you gotta earn that. Where does that come from? Like what? Like if you had to word it right, if I'm saying it's an angry black woman, but clearly I got something misunderstood.
Yeah.
What is it about the woman that gives off angry? I guess if that's the question I want to ask.
And that's the thing.
That's a crazy question.
People, they mistake anger for independence and being firm and knowing what we want.
Boundaries.
Look, man, boundaries.
Remember that. Remember knowing what we want. So we're mistaking angry black women for knowing what they want and being independent. Remember that.
Man, like men, whether it be a black man, mainly black men, because that's mainly who I deal with. You know, I had a couple white boyfriends. They was too soft for me. Sorry, guys. But, like, black men, they like a dumb bitch. To be honest with you, man, like, niggas like weak women. They can control you that way. They like to put you in a box. They like that. I have brothers. I have homeboys.
That's the first contradiction. So first contradiction that she mentions here is that she didn't like the Caucasian men because they were a little soft. So she wanted to go to black men because that's her cup of tea. So she wanted men that were stronger. You know, the implication is that white women are weaker. So white men deal with the weaker women and they can't handle a strong black woman. And so she goes to black men that would be stronger relative to her. So stronger than her, right? because like she was saying, you got to unlock the submission. So we're talking about unlocking submission, meaning someone stronger than you having you submit to them, or you're submitting to them because you see they're stronger, they're a good leader, and all this kind of stuff. But at the same time, she says that they like weak women, which you have to be a weaker woman than the man that you are submitting to, because why would you submit to a weaker man? Hence why you didn't want to go with the Caucasian men you felt were soft. This is that round and round we go.
I can count on how many fingers, how many homegirls I got. So I grew up around niggas. You know what I'm saying? And I've
Masculine.
seen this. Okay. And I have a dad that I grew up in a house with. Married parents. And how submissive my mom was, always, never cheated, never. And then I had my dad. He had a maid at home, but he was still, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so that's where it come from. I grew up in a house where I've seen nothing but submission from my mother, and a nigga still wasn't happy there. I'm talking about like breakfast, lunch, dinner, 3 meals. I'm taking care of these kids, which are ours. I'm talking about like, and a very present father. I've always had my father to this day. Great father, just not a great husband.
So let's look at the next point here. She says he's a great father. So he was there always, even there today. Maybe that's what that faithfulness, that loyalty gets you. A great dad for your children. And this is one thing that that women will say, okay, so one of the tenets of like the feminism that they teach women nowadays is, if the man cheats on you, if he's not faithful, then nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. It's a zero-sum game. So you could, if you don't make the money, if you don't offer the protection, if you don't have the problem solving, the decision making, if you're not decisive, if you're not attractive, if you're not a good father there for your children, all of those things right there, if you're not those things but you're faithful, you're out the door. But if you provide all of those things but then you're unfaithful, then you've actually provided nothing. Okay? You've provided nothing. So she did that to get absolutely nothing in return. See, the thing is, women want everything one for one. They want, hey, if I'm doing this, then you're doing this. If I'm being in a committed relationship with you, then you need to be in a committed monogamous relationship with me. It goes both ways. And women want everything one for one. Why should I if he isn't? Everyone has heard that before. Why should I if he isn't? Okay, cool. Why should he pay the bills if you aren't? Why are things not 50-50? Why should he protect you if you're not protecting him half the time? So somebody swing one time, he take the punch. The next time they swing, you take the punch. It's not like that. You got to be strong. You got to be the problem solver, right? You have to earn submission. Why? But she doesn't need to earn submission. It's because men and women are different, so it's not one for one on everything. But that's the argument that they'll make. They say, hey, if I can't have everything from you, so men have to provide, and this is the key, men have to provide the female loyalty, and they also have to provide the male framework of loyalty. So they have to do both. So the men have to provide feminine value and masculine value, which is submission, which is giving your body only to this person, that's taking care of the kids, that's doing all the feminine tasks. Women want the feminine and the masculine value while only providing the feminine value minimally, while telling men that they should appreciate the masculine value that the men can actually benefit from, because they are not paying your bills and they are not taking a bullet for you. Round and round we go. Let's go around some more.
It's like I could see if it was something that she did to make that bad. Like if she was cheating, if she didn't come to your every. I watch my mother be the breadwinner. I watch everything like, and it's, you know how hard it is to be the breadwinner and submit.
Message. Yeah, be the breadwinner and submit. It is. It is hard.
She did it. She did it. She been doing it since before me. And I'm like, I don't want to be like her. I don't want to be like my mother. In love, that means like with love, like no. My mother's a fucking angel, bro. Knows how to treat a woman. My mother taught me how to treat a man. Some things I changed. I'm like, nah. Cause she did great 100%.
So I mentioned this in a previous podcast, and this is something that's big. Guys, you cannot fix ladies like this. If they have this mindset, you have to move on no matter how beautiful they are. There's nothing that you can do to help or adjust it. This is deep seated. You're not a licensed psychologist that can unweave this web. You can't do it. And I mentioned this in the previous video. I've talked to two. Well, I've heard two younger ladies say one was 7 and one was 9, and they said, when I grow up, I want to have kids, but I don't want a husband because they're too much work. So here you have her mom who is upset with her father, engaging in parental alienation and setting her daughter up to take the big L. Mom stayed a while. Mom dealt with it. Mom kept a husband around and all these things, but made sure that her daughter was set off in the world with a hatred and a disdain for men. Someone, ladies, I hate to be the one, the bearer of bad news. Please don't shoot the messenger. It's going to be 95 to 99% of every single man out there. If they have options, they're going to exercise them. They want to. That they have to not do it. Not sleeping with other people is a sacrifice that men make in a relationship. Monogamy is not the natural state of things. That the monogamy is a regulated marketplace. You got to understand. It's a regulated marketplace. If you go, so right now, back in the 50s, right, in the 40s, that was a very regulated market. They kept tight control on it. Now we have an unregulated market. Women have the ability to do whatever they want to do, sleep with who they want to sleep with, have children who they want to have children with, or not have the children, right? What do the women with the most options do? The most beautiful women. Do they date the average guy that works at FedEx? Do we see them walking around with women that's like, oh my God, she should be a model? In general, no. We see the basketball players with a few of them. We see the business owners, the guys with the Ferraris, the older guys, not old, the guys past the middle phase of life, right? So in the 40s, 50s, even 60s, having multiple women when the guys their age can't get their attention. Why is that? Because women are flocking to the resources and the competency. That's where the women are going to go. And the men are going to take as many as they can handle. That's how it works. In the unregulated marketplace, the women with the most options are going to go to the highest men that have the most options, and are going to exercise several of those options. And the women are going to compete to be there. I don't want to be a part of that world, you may say. Well, then there's a ton of average guys or below average guys that don't have the option to get a woman that's even a quarter of what you are. You can grab one of those and things will go the way that you want them to go. Most ladies are not willing to do that. But in the unregulated marketplace, like we have today, the one with no rules, you see human nature playing out. Let's continue.
But he is like, what was she lacking then? So that's why I have a problem with submission, because I grew up seeing it and not really hardly anything came from it.
So she has
So how does a man tap into that?
If I'm getting everything, What the fuck do I need?
That's what ladies do not understand about men. Everything is, and I'm just once again, for the vast majority of men, not all men, but the vast majority of men, getting everything is having more than one lady. There's studies historically, okay, and that say the majority of men did not procreate. That the minority of men procreated, but the vast majority of women procreated. What does that tell you? And we hear a lot of things. Oh, women, women were forced to marry these old guys, and that's how they were forced to do it, and they didn't have a choice. They couldn't marry who they loved, and such and such and such and such, and these beautiful young women. And now in the real world, when women are given the choice, they would choose Bill Gates over me any day. They would choose a retired Hall of Famer over me any day. In his 60s, he would get many more ladies than I could if I was putting myself out there like that. But we hear the narrative, we hear the nonsense. But and what women need to understand is there's nothing wrong. She is lacking nothing at all. She's lacking absolutely nothing at all. You don't have to lack anything. You can be 100% of the woman that this man wants, and he will still want another one. Just biology is not a decision he made, just like it's not a decision that women make that, I want a man that can protect me. You weren't 6 years old and like, you know what? Or 12, 13 or 14 or 15. I want a man that's going to protect me. No, you just instinctively want to feel safe. And that's the same way it works for men, and women don't understand. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I will never understand. And people always bring up, yo, all right, well, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, anybody can get it. What the fuck you mean? Like, what do you mean? I think it's an intimidation thing. Like, it's like, yo, I have to have something to make me feel superior. Like, I have to, that's why, yo, niggas, that's why I really feel like a lot of black men, they date these white women, they more submissive. They will do anything for you. Like, anything. Don't ask no questions, no nothing. Like,
has she looked at the divorce rate for Caucasian couples? I don't think she has. That's categorically false. Caucasian women do not live their lives not asking questions and doing everything that they're told. White men will tell you that. White men are talking and are now getting into having the same problems, and soon it will most likely be at the same scale as black men. So this is propaganda, this is nonsense, but still a lot of black women believe this stuff. So
is they take more than we take, and we always deemed angry. It's like, no, we not angry. We motherfucking tired. Like, shit. Tired of having to do so fucking much to still be like disvalued. Excuse me? Excuse me. No. So.
But how does a man? So right. So with all of that, and it's crazy because it makes me emotional just thinking about it. But it makes me emotional because it's like it's just constant. It's like a non-stop of pain between men and women.
Yeah.
You feel me? So like, how do we break that cycle, and how can I tap into God or my ultimate manhood to make you comfortable enough to be submissive to me and trust me?
Good question. So just the direct, easy question, right? Okay. Well, hey, you say it has to be earned. You're talking, you're putting all this out there. You're a grown woman. You've been through all of these guys. You dated a ton of people. You know what you like. You know what you don't like now. So you are now a wise, successful woman. You should know exactly what you want, and you can tell us exactly how to get it. So, so this is going to be very insightful. Everyone, listen up. This is it. It's a perfect question. Let's go.
Even though everything you saw, like how do a man get that from you? What is it that he can do?
Jay, honestly, I don't know, and I'm gonna tell you.
She doesn't know, and none of them do. Let me tell you how it works. Let me explain. Well, actually, let's hear her first, and then I'm gonna give ladies, and I'm gonna give men advice on how to fix this, because it's super simple. Once you understand that humans have nature, there's a male nature and a female nature, and I'm gonna explain how you fix what she is feeling.
Why I don't know. Obviously, I haven't figured it out. You know why? Because I haven't been happy yet in a fucking relationship, bro. Either a nigga is intimidated about what I make. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was in a relationship with Country Wayne. Yes, I was. Wayne, I still say to this day that's the best relationship I ever been in with certain things. Um, we would still beef about how much we make. Cause I'm like, yeah, nigga, I make more than you. Like I let him be on his highways for a while, and Wayne is so competitive. I'm like, okay. At first it was cool, it was cute. I'm like, okay, I got a nigga that's like, okay, challenging. All right, cool. We wanted to go on tour together. It was gonna be called Best of Both Worlds. You know, he's a clean comic. I'm dirty. I'm raw. I'm Baltimore. He's church. He's Bill Cosby. Well, before the charges, you know. I'm like, nah. I'm old Monique, Bertie Mac, every harsh Richard Pryor. I don't say anything. This nigga was like, all right, we can co-headline a tour. You headline, I headline. I'm like, okay, cool. He like, but I gotta get X amount. I'm like, why? He's just like, just for one, I'm the man, and then two is you're my woman. No, that's not what we're doing. Cause you see, I sell out shows. I put asses in seats. I could if I could see if I was just starting out. I could see if I wasn't Jess. I'm Jess. Shows that you don't sell out, I sell out. And he sells out. But what the fuck we talking about? We gonna do 50-50 or it ain't nothing. He couldn't deal with that. And also this nigga was like, yo, and I love him to death. Still, we're still good friends. This nigga was like, and you know I say this. He was like, well, in a few years, I don't even want you to be touring and doing. I want you to be. You want me to do what? Stay home. And you want to take care of me. That sounds great to a certain type of female. I'm a worker. I'm gonna always work. I don't even know what the fuck retirement even gonna look like because I ain't gonna ever do it. Nigga, if I could, I would be 100 on stage. Because that's what I love. That's what I want to do. I'd be 100 on stage talking about myself.
Okay, so, and that is the ideology. That's the ideology that a lot of black women have. Now, luckily, this lady in particular, she went viral, and she has millions of Instagram followers, a successful YouTube channel. She's a multimillionaire, so she is making money, and she can say that. Now, while she might not be happy at the end, she'll be able to survive financially. Should be comfortable. Most women who say that don't have the ability, don't have $1,000 in the checking account. Let's just say it like that. They might even drive a nice car. Don't have $1,000 in the checking account. Now, she said you have to earn submission. Turn around. She doesn't know what you have to do to earn it from her. It's a guessing game. She doesn't know. Maybe it's just based off of how she feels, which is erratic, and it's different based on the different men she's talking to, the different parts of life she's in. Ultimately, it's unachievable. Let's jump in. Let's find out. Let's see. How do we fix this? First, I'm going to give advice to the ladies. One thing you have to understand is your mom probably set you up to take a big L in the way that she talked to you or the way that she didn't talk to you about relationships. They didn't teach you anything. A lot of people a lot of parents, mothers in particular, encourage promiscuous behavior and have you sitting there watching every rom-com that they do, and allowing Disney and romances and reality TV to raise you and give your ideas. For you and your children, make sure that you are telling your children what happiness is and what goals look like. You should be telling them that. And for the woke folks, they're gonna go, oh no, you should let your kids go off and do it on their own. That they don't do anything on their own. They look around, just like language. You may not teach them. They're just gonna observe. So if they're not observing you, they're not being taught by you. They're being taught by someone else, whether it's a school, whether it's television, whether it's the radio, music. If you don't tell them, somebody will. They're not going to figure it out on their own. They're going to pick it up from someone else. So you need to be telling your own kids. But let's get into the advice for women. Ladies, one of the tenets of feminism is that you devalue men. And by devaluing men, you give yourself value and you protect yourself because now they can't hurt you. She would never let a man take care of her. She said never. Because, and why is that? Real quick, it's because men want appreciation. If you do something for someone in a relationship, if I'm giving you masculine value, should I not in return get feminine value? If I'm taking you out on dates, if I'm courting you, this progresses for a week or two, what do I get in return for that? Should I get nothing in return? Should you give me feminine value and get nothing in return? Should you put in effort in a relationship and get nothing in return? Well, when I say I should get something in return, it's going to sound oppressive and misogynistic. But when I say, hey, if a woman puts her all into a relationship, should a man put his effort into? Of course, yes. That's going to be the auto response. So, how do you fix this? Okay, so everything is market based. Everything is an economy. That's how you have to think about everything. Okay, so you can't value a man. You've been taught to devalue him so much that the thought of a man saying, "Hey, you owe me," feels oppressive and disgusting. I did street interviews and I asked women, "What do you think you owe men?" They answer unequivocally, nothing. They don't owe them anything. Then you could turn around and how should men treat women? Why do you think men owe women that? Yes, they do. You should do this. You should treat women. There's one way. Women, they're female supremacists, right? So what do you do? So how do you fix this? Women, first thing, you have to give men the value back. Not because men deserve the value, but because if you don't, you won't be happy. If you don't get a man that you can value, that you can respect, that you can admire, if you don't get that man can find somebody else to give that to him. If that man's competent, he most likely is going to find someone to give him that. That's going to give that to him. You're going to be the one that's out. Don't worry about what he's getting. That's another thing. Everything is a competition. So she said that's one of the things she liked about him, that he was competitive, going back and forth with her. But she stopped liking it on down the road. And because he said, and I don't know how accurate this is, and it could be completely wrong. As of right now, she has more Instagram followers, but his net worth is valued. They said she's in the range between 1 and 3, and he was about 5 million. So he's worth more money overall than her now. That's just a Google search. I don't know 100%. But he said, hey, I want to make this much money. She said, no, it's a 50-50 thing. I'm going to be making this money. I'd rather get 100% of nothing. Okay. And she got 100% of nothing. And now she doesn't have a relationship either. So, how do you fix this? You have to give men the value back. How do you give men their value? How do you not give men their value? They already have it. Let me rephrase that. How do you value men? Because your happiness, the way that you're going to be happy, is you value a man. How do you do that? Well, let's say it like this. If when's the last time you said, whoa, oxygen? Oh my God, I love this stuff. This is amazing. I value it so much. It keeps me alive. When's the last time you went on for hours and hours about something so critical? You probably never have. Why not? Because it's in abundance. But get held underwater for 30 seconds, and I guarantee that you will value nothing more than oxygen. Everything is economics. So that means what you need to do is take down the supply, and then you're going to take up the value. Your Instagram, your social media, guys are flooding you all the time. The clothes that you wear when you go out, you're getting all this attention from men. You got so many options. You got guys on rotation. The ex-boyfriend is there. The guys that you friend zoned are there. The orbiters, the guys that you can go back to that you know they want. All of these people are sitting right there. And there's so many options. There's so much. And it's a little bit over here, a little bit over there. This guy has this guy has that. You can't find the man to value, because there is no man you can value, because you don't value men, because you have too many of them. So what can you do? What do you have to do? What you need to do is you need to delete every social media app off of your phone. It's weird if I don't have a social media app. I didn't say delete your accounts. I said delete the apps. You only should access your Instagram and your Snapchat things on the computer whenever you need to do an update. That's it. You should never read your DMs. You should never look at the likes and the things and all that kind of stuff. It should mean absolutely nothing to you. You should block it out. You need to do a complete detox. Actually, if you just delete it, didn't look at it for 2 months. But it's weird if I don't update. Employers look at it. Cool. You go, if you have a friend that you can talk to, that you trust, or you have a sister, you have your mom, hey mom, upload this picture for me. I don't want to know anything about it, but I need to keep up appearances. You separate yourself from that. Change your phone number. Get rid of every single last orbiter, every single guy you hooked up with, that you reconnect with, the ex-boyfriends. Everyone needs to go. Okay? Everyone. The dating apps, out of there. Go meet people the right way. Give men choosing signals in person. Dating apps are garbage. They're hookup. Then when you meet a guy, the big problem is that you don't understand that biology exists. You see, you don't need, Pearly, just Pearly Things has this idea for wife school. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But I know it's going to fail. Why do I know it's going to fail? Because they have not recognized the biology of it. You will have more success than going through this school and that one and this one and that one if you just cut all other men off. Your desire and need for attention and male validation is going to take over, and you will have the urge to please the man to get the validation that you are with. That's it. If you take all of the other clutter out, you get all of that stuff out, that is going to actually take care of itself. Just like when you get hungry, you eat. You don't have to take a course to know how to eat, to get up and to chew. You figure it out. Just like when you're thirsty. You have to make yourself thirsty for that male attention and validation, and then you give it to that man. Whoa, but wait, Isha, wait a second. But then men don't have control over me, they have power, blah, 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 blah. That's the second step. Let me give you the first step, okay? The second step I explained first because it was bigger. It's the most important one. And then you have this one. So how do you do the second one? I mean, the first one. This is the first step. Stop going out with men who convince you to go with them. Stop dealing with pickup artists and men who are smooth, super smooth with women. You're just another notch on the belt. Stop. Are you looking to be another notch? You have to understand that while they may understand the female psyche and be able to get into your pants, they may be smooth, might be tall, might be handsome, they know how to do that, they got the confidence, blah, blah, blah. That hasn't been working for you up until today, has it? This is what I tell ladies. Stop dating the men. Stop dating and looking to marry the men who convince you to be with them. Okay? Don't date the men that you fall in love with. Don't marry the man that you fall in love with. Date the man that you decide is a good candidate to fall in love with. Because then your emotions are not in it. Then you're making good decisions. Do you understand? Did you catch that? Don't date the men that you fall for. Fall for the men you decide on. This is why arranged marriages worked for so long. This is why they have happier marriages overall. because the families look for men that check the boxes and not the insane woke all of this kind of crap. The basics. A man that is this good family history. A man that's financially stable, has a plan for the future. A man that you think would be good with children. A man that shares your values. Okay? A man, basically, a man that you respect his character. So a man that you can respect. You look at him, you respect him. A man that you admire his accomplishments and what he's doing in the future, what he's working towards. So you got to have the proof in the past, and then you look at the things he's building on to go to the future. Okay, you're not going with people who might be doing it. You look at the people who've done it and who look to be doing even greater things in the future. And then someone that you have a baseline sexual attraction to. So just imagine you have to work with someone. You admire this person deeply. You admire their accomplishments. You think that this gentleman is going far in the world. Okay? You respect his character. It's a man that you respect and trust. Okay? 100%. And you are sexually attracted to him. Maybe like a 6 out of 10. 5 to 6 out of 10. Absolute respect. Absolute admiration for him. And you have sexual attraction towards him. If you were with that man and had to work with that man over the course of 3 months, could you stop yourself from feeling things for him? That's it. So you find that guy, decide on him, cut everything else out. His value to you will be like it was 100 years ago. You will value the man that can bring that value into your life. Whereas as of right now, you couldn't value a man if he dropped 50 grand on you. You say, oh, the money's good. I appreciate the money, but you can't buy me. That's basically what you would say. Not saying that this guy could. I'm saying that he wouldn't have to, because your biology will respond to him providing what you want, what you need. Okay, time for the men. Okay. Guys, all right? It's real simple. This Jess is showing you what you should avoid. She has never had a happy relationship. She said that happiest relationship, although the man wanted to give her the world, she couldn't accept it because she loved working more than she would love a family. There's nothing that you can do in that situation. You cut your losses and you leave. How do you know a woman is the right woman? First off, when you're dealing with her, she has a submissive nature. When a woman likes you, when she wants to be with you, when she values you, the same way that when you like a woman, you want to start solving her problems. You want to answer the questions. You want to provide for her. All those same things that kick in. You want to protect her from everyone, family, friends. All those things kick in. The same thing kick in for women. They want to nurture you. They want to listen to you. They want to respect you. Uh-oh. All right. So they want to respect you. And they want to offer their submission. So even talking to Ms. Jessie said, you got to earn that. And she wants to give that submission. She just doesn't know how to. She doesn't know how to activate it. She doesn't know what a man can do. The truth is, a man can do nothing. She would have to change her life. So you're looking for a woman that is submissive. Okay? You're looking for a woman that is offering you her feminine value. A woman that is attractive and offering you sex, that's cool. A woman that is offering you feminine value, being submissive, listening, being supportive, letting you take the lead, okay? A woman that accepts that facts are real and are not determined by her feelings. That she can feel something, but understand the thing that you are saying that she doesn't like is actually true, okay? A woman that is not in competition to be your equal, like a Jess and how her men were doing. Okay? And all in all, a woman that you can tell respects you, admires what you've done and where you're going, and is sexually attracted to you and has cut off her supply of men. She gets you every day you deal with her. She comes to you, and you can feel that she needs your validation, that she needs your attention because she hasn't gotten it from social media. She hasn't gotten it from the guy at work. She hasn't gotten it at the gym. She doesn't feel disgusted by your touch or gaze. She wants it on a daily basis. I feel like that 80% of the time, she wants the attention because she cut off her other supplies. If she is not doing that, she's getting a supply elsewhere. She is intentionally devaluing you, whether she knows it or not. It's intentional because even though she doesn't know that it's having that specific effect, she believes that she is strengthening herself when she's really weakening herself, her position, because she will not be able to obtain what she wants because you want the same thing that she does. She wants to be happy. You want to be happy. She wants a man that she can respect and value and feel safe around. And that means you have to be in a leadership role and protect her. So every single thing, all the advice that I gave a lady, you just look for a woman who's putting herself in that position for you, and you win. And that is pretty much it. Okay? If you are looking for some feedback on the relationship that you're in right now, or a business venture, anything that you got going on and you want to chat, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, follow me on Instagram, shoot me a message. The link is in the description. And if I was not spot on anywhere, guys, make sure to let me know. If you agree with me, let me know. Drop it in the comments below. My channel is still small, so I can get down here and respond to every comment. Let's have some good discussions, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.